Donald Trump is no stranger to controversy, but this time he might have gone too far. Imagine this. In the middle of a high-stakes legal battle, Trump decides to reenact the assault he's accused of in vivid detail.
Think of this. A woman comes into Mar-a-Lago, interviews me about a love story about my wife and myself, and during that interview, I attacked her and pushed her up against the wall, violently.
And his lawyers? They're watching in absolute horror as their client sets fire to his own defense. Millions on the line, and Trump, he's just getting started. But this isn't just about what Trump said, it's how he said it. From weaponizing his fame to victim blaming, Trump throws legal norms out the window in spectacular fashion.
And the picture depicts her and her husband on a celebrity line where I was the celebrity. I was been a celebrity for a long time.
But that celebrity status doesn't end there, because he then plugs his book. However, the problem with this is that book is out in 1987, so it's completely irrelevant to what he's talking about.
I had the book, The Art of the Deal. I was famous then too. I've been famous for a long time. And we're sitting in first class, according to her. Never happened, by the way. Totally made up story. She's a Clinton person too, by the way, big Clinton person. She made up the story. And so many years ago, and I think it would be 1979, one of my many people behind me could correct it, but I think she said 1979, that's a long time ago. And I sat down. I believe I had some pretty big success then, and I was being talked about a lot. Maybe The Art of the Deal was out, sometime after that, I'm not sure. But I was well known.
And then there's this.
It's very funny. When you're rich and famous, you get a lot of people come up with a lot of stories.
And when you've done a lot of bad things, you get a lot of people coming forward saying bad things. Trump's celebrity status is a golden shield to him. And in this case, he mentions how famous he was at the time, as if being a well-known figure somehow makes him immune to allegations. But let's be real, fame isn't a free pass from responsibility. Yet Trump repeatedly uses his long-standing celebrity status as if it absolves him from any accountability. And then there's the classic case of victim blaming. Trump dismisses the accusation not by focusing on the facts, or the fact they lost the case, but by attacking the accuser's appearance.
I would have had no interest in meeting her in any way, shape, or form.
It gets worse because his lawyers actually try and stop him going to trial, according to Trump. And they use his ego against him to try and convince him that the whole thing is beneath him.
Sir, you should not show up. You're the former president or the president. I don't even know when the trial was, but you're the president of the United States, sir. This is beneath you. I've got this 100%. The dress is negative, but he wasn't able to use it. Sir, it's beneath you to show up. I said, but wouldn't that be bad for a jury? Wouldn't that be sort of bad for a jury if I don't show up? He said, sir, you don't have to show up. I've got this. You shouldn't do it. It's beneath you. It's beneath the office of the president. I understood what he meant by that. And so I didn't show up. And I was found guilty.
And the reason is? Well, have a listen to this.
Or in any way was involved with, nor would I want to be. I would not want to be. My people say, please don't say that. I would not want to be involved with her.
And this plays into the dangerous stereotype that the validity of an assault depends on the victim's appearance. It's not just dismissive, it's a harmful precedent reinforcing toxic attitudes that undermines victims. And it continued to get worse because he couldn't even remember her name.
She said the nicest things about me, about Melania. You have the story. I mean, you can read the story. And her name was whoever. Let's see. Her name was who? Swarnoff, yeah. I don't have it. Whatever her name was. I don't know the lady, so perhaps it's much better that way, but I really don't know the lady. So she wrote this beautiful story.
That does not project well. He can't even remember a court case, who was involved, and he's implicating himself as a liability.
To say, but it couldn't have happened. It didn't happen. And She would not have been the chosen one. She would not have been the chosen one.
What does that mean, the chosen one? It sounds like some sort of sacrifice. A sacrificial thing that he wants to do to someone. The chosen one is absolutely deranged. And he still wasn't done. Because of course, he can't be the guy that caused him to lose his own trial by being guilty. He has to attack his legal team.
And I feel sad that I have to come up here and explain it. I have all this legal talent, but legal talent cannot overcome rigged judges. They can't overcome a 4% Republican area. And I'm disappointed in my legal talent, I'll be honest with you. They're good. They're good people. They're talented people. Today at the trial, they didn't mention the dress.
The Monica Lewinsky affair, which he had with Bill Clinton, which they both denied for a certain period of time and then admitted to. Why would he make that comparison? It makes him sound guilty. Have a listen.
So the Monica Lewinsky type dress was a big part of the trial. Big part of the trial. I said, why didn't you mention that? And I heard there was a dress involved. And I wasn't frightened at all because I did nothing with her. Never touched this woman, saw this woman, had no idea who she was. But they have a dress, sir. I said, so what? Well, sir, it's very sir. They used that dress to try and intimidate me. They used that dress with the public. That dress was such a famous dress. It was Monica Lewinsky, part 2, the dress. And the judge wanted it for trial. And it was going to go into trial. And then they found out there was nothing on the dress, which I knew. And then the judge wouldn't allow it to be used. So they used it as a cudgel. They used it as a hammer over my head.
And then finally, after all of that crazy stuff, including Trump throwing his own lawyer under the table, one of his lawyers, a female lawyer, comes to the forefront to try and defend him. It's just madness.
Good afternoon. I've done this one too many times, actually too many times for the last 3.5 years while President Trump has been trying to fight to get this country back. And I want to speak to the American women, and I want to speak to the people that need to get out and vote on November 5th. I have sat with President Trump for years now, while he has been targeted with lies and with judges, AGs, and DAs who have specifically run in this city and others on getting Trump. The Trump administration will fix this problem. We will stop Kamala Harris's regime, because she was there, let's not forget that, and she still is, of using officials from the White House, putting them in DA's offices, in AG's offices, and attacking your political opponent. And this country deserves better than this. We do. We should not be sitting here at a press conference talking about this. We did this in 2016, and every woman had no reports. They come out when it's election time. And as a woman who has stood with President Trump, who has spent extensive time with President Trump and with his beautiful family, I will tell you, that is not President Trump, and I completely am disgusted by what I have seen happen to this person, his family, and the Trump organization that we stand in right now.
But maybe, and I'm just going to use Trump's words against you,
She would not have been the chosen one. She would not have been the chosen one.
You must vote Donald Trump back in, because as an attorney, as a woman, as a mother, our future of this country depends on it, and we need to stop this from happening. The DOJ is supposed to help our country and protect us, not attack us, because you cannot win in the polls. Thank you.
but it's okay for Donald Trump to wind up a crowd and launch them at the Capitol building during January 6th. That's fine. But she draws the line at the DOJ.
Multiple capital injury! Multiple capital injury! Even Trump, we are still taking metal, sharpened objects, missiles, to include bottles and rocks.
So here we are, Trump's words, once again, putting him on the verge of another legal disaster. Whether it's his obsession with fame, victim blaming, or undermining his own legal team, it's a spectacle we can't look away from. But this time, it's more than just words. The stakes? Well, for Trump, it's millions on the line. The damage? It's already done. Once again, thank you to all my Patreon and YouTube supporters who keep this channel going and growing, and thank you to all of my new subscribers. You do really help this channel. If you'd like to support the channel or even just buy me a coffee, links in the description. Once again, thanks for listening. Bye for now.